What's good, YouTube? And welcome to a whole lot to cover in just a little bit of time at the beginning of this video. First off, we're doing a 24-hour stream tomorrow at noon Central here on YouTube, so go ahead and tune in, and the Tournament of Madness will begin at 8 o'clock Central. You're welcome to play completely for free, prizes ship worldwide, and it's going to be an evolving ban list, so it's more of a deck building, war of attrition, and we play through the whole night, so also endurance test. But for those that are really good at that, huge prizes like $200 Tier 0 credit and a Hayate playmat. Speaking of Tier 0, a huge sale goes live tomorrow at 5 a.m. in the morning. There's going to be starlights, collector stuff, all sorts of goodies with extra discounts, and creator codes are actually boosted. Code What's Good 5 is 10% off and still supports the channel directly, of course. So look forward to that on Tier 0. Then around 3 o'clock, Gamer's Choice also doing, foreign EU stuff. I love competing sales and I look forward to how both turn out. We'll actually tune in during the stream, but they have so many cool looking things, and they say that's just a taste, that's just a sneak peek, and that they're going to have so many other different things. They're going to have spell grounds, graded cards, playmats, and while codes will not stack on their sale, it's 10% off site-wide, it will support the channel whenever you purchase anything on the site throughout the sale. So I appreciate any purchase, and also, yeah, it's looking pretty good at what they will have. It is a sponsored shout out, but at the same time, I think they will definitely be bringing it. So look forward to those sales and the live stream tomorrow. If you want to sign up for the tournament, it's in the Discord in the Tournament of Madness room, TOM room. And if you can't access the Discord, just say hey anytime during the stream and we'll try to help you out, as long as it's, before signups would have already ended at 8 o'clock. Let's talk some more Edison stuff. It's been actually pretty fun to cover Edison. Apparently GEMINI decks are popping off and proving DZ wrong. That one guy roasting him was right. Blazewing Butterfly, infinite potential back in the day. So apparently people have broken Geminis in Edison, and it's just flying off the handle, full buyout mode, including Gemini Soldier, which only has one printing. He's spiking up on, going ridiculous. So if you pull this out of bulk, you now have a $5+ card. Black Brudrago's always a card I respected. People are doing crazy things with Gigaplant. Only has one printing out of Stardust Overdrive of all sets, and yeah, it's on full buyout mode, and they've always had kind of the edgeware out of Stardust Overdrive, even the unlimbs, so be aware, and true near mint copy is pretty darn hard to come by for this stuff. But yeah, breaking Geminis, who'd have thought? And Ultimate offering a lot of different copies of this are spiking also due to that. Don't think it's banless copium, hopium, that sort of stuff. It is due to Edison format of all things going absolutely wild on these cards. Witch's Strike, I feel like I've seen this show enough. Apparently with Labyrinth players who want to ruin people's days and negates are back in the format, all that kind of stuff, the ultra rare is re-spiking here. And again, I just feel like I've seen the show before and again and again. And maybe this time it's real. Every time I read this card, I'm like, it had so much potential. It's so insane. One day it could have its day. I feel like so many people grip onto that too. And here's the secret rare starting to go back up after that exact same show again and again. So be aware, this one gets over speculated on. People have hopium for it. I myself have been in that camp at times of like, when is this going to break a format? And people are back into the buying train on Witch's Strike. Bestial Magnamut. Now, this is one that I felt like was getting mad underestimated when it dipped back, towards that $10 mark, and they're like, its time is over. Here it goes, spiking on up again, up towards $16+. It's found its place in the format. Of course, Dragon Link is also a popular choice going into the WCQ. I feel like Dragon Link grinders just exist in their own world and continue to do their own thing. But yeah, be aware, also Hand Trap still good. Now, for Cash Tier, we have a couple new ways to play that people are latching onto. RaidRaptor Tribute Lanius OGs are spiking, and even the ghosts from the past versions are starting to go down in quantity, up in price, but it's especially the OG spiking up here towards 6, 7, 8. This has been bought out and speculated on before, if you recall, though, and they're both ultra rare, so get whichever suits you. RaidRaptor Arsenal Falcon only has one printing out of Rise of the Duelist, I believe. Yes, it does not have a reprint, so this one is just going absolutely bonkers as a rank 7 Xyz that does multiple cool things. It is around $4.54 right now and going up pretty rapidly. And then Raider's Wing also spiking up here. It does not have a reprint out of Phantom Rage, I believe, and then it is $3-4. Let me double check on that one. Raider's Wing, did it really get passed on for a reprint? No, it got a reprint. Absolutely ignore me on that. Out of the 10 of Ancient Battles, readily accessible, but as a rare, so it's its ultra rare highest version that is pricey, and you still have budget options on it. But people are playing this kind of package in there, as well as experimenting with F-Zero in Kashtira at points. They're really trying to fill the holes of what went missing and decide what they want to play, and we see that both a little tiny baby bump reversal in the collector rare F-Zero has been going on, and now the lowest are 56, which is pretty cheap for this card, but I've always been on the King's Copium. And the secret rares also starting to just go back up after spiraling down for some times. If we go to the 1 month graph, you can see the more realistic view where it's gone down and just people chilling on it to spiking straight up there. What is that age-old question? What's better, the Ultimate Rare or the Starlight Rare? Well, for Stratos, I think that gap is really showing because Stratos is just skyrocketing consistently for the Starlight Rare and going up here versus its market price, where Ulti has just sunk and sunk and sunk down and is big chillin' under market price here. And OTS 09, doesn't that sound familiar? It was shorted and got replaced by the distro. It was OTS 4 or 5, whatever, Ghost Ogres, and I think 5 came in, got re-waved, replaced, and they just didn't have much OTS 9. So we're already talking about, in history, a card that didn't have the most copies, that was super hyped once upon a time, and then its Starlight counterpart, well, people are really preferring the Starlight on this one. Kind of an interesting snapshot into that, though, isn't it? That, yeah, people like the new. When it comes to the Wild Survivors, I just wanted to point out versus that hype train through the weekend and early in the week, a lot of the versus stuff is actually cooling back down to where it was at, tons of quantities. And I feel like what's happening is people saw, oh, there's money in this? It's time to get rid of this off the shelf after all their experience with collector rare sets. Now, the set itself, sealed, is still pretty well priced for a collector rare set. And when I say that, I say well priced for the stores, not for the buyers. Not worth it to buy and crack, in my opinion. But what I think people saw was, we can actually get our money back out of this. Let's tear it open now, get the singles on the market, and a lot of things have been cooling. Now, Ground Xeno, even though it's up in quantities, still has a huge price tag on it of $32, and I think that's due to dinosaur players being general fans, long-term people gotta have it, update their deck, and it's one of those. And we're seeing even the dinosaur collector rares calm down, like, you know, RaidRaptor, nothing but down on the price. Well, it was overhyped on presale, TCG player, etc. It's now 70 instead of 80 lowest, which is pretty darn good, although they're not top rated. There are a lot of 100% feedbacks in there. And then Animador Archosaur, people do seem to prefer the secret rare, and it does fit the card. Collector rare not doing too hot. One of the lower priced ones along with Tenki, and Burger holding on with the meme. I felt like the meme would hold this at $50+. A lot of y'all did, and here it is, actually doing it for now. We have Baguska. I just wanted to point out even the gold letter rare of this, lowish quantities for this kind of a card, and actually $2. So every single version of this, still money, and it kind of makes sense. It's one of those cards that does find itself in formats, and also beginners kind of like to rely on this sort of card, and then you just Zeus, yeah, with it like any Xyz, right? And then finally, I wanted to also point out XL Synchro Stardust Dragon has been going down a lot. It was finding some meta play. That meta play went out of the window with the ban list, and now it still has that synchro support on the horizon. So be aware. A lot of people said this would just hold at 40, won't go back under. Well, it's gone over. That's why I never try to over speculate, but I do feel like it's going to find that grip hold and start to go up when its new support comes. I feel like we've seen that show many a time too. Let me know what you think about this card though. Is it way overhyped with the synchro stuff, or will the synchro stuff actually bring the pain? And the final part here, get to the card, John, I already did, so we can talk about the figures. DM era It has plenty of figures still. I think I saw 3 Dark Magician Girl figures, actually 4 if you count a rewave, released last week. Well, here we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, 1/7 figure, and companies during Pride Month. We got the Rainbow Karibo as well. But seriously, nice to see such a good-looking figure and representation for Zexal along with the Tachyon Dragon. I think we're into the age where Yu-Gi-Oh's really pushing into the figure market. It's going to develop for some time, but be aware, just like cards, companies can rewave statues into demand too, like that Dark Magician Girl that did happen last week. So it's not always going to hold infinite value. The Jaden 1/7 statue is another example. It was actually up to $450 to $600 resale, and it got rewaved as they made the Chaz. So yeah, the figures can get rewaved. They're not infinite stonks. Get what you wouldn't mind keeping for yourself personally when playing around in this market. But I'm not a financial advisor channel. Always do your own research. Thanks for watching today's video. See you tomorrow on the live stream, 8 o'clock Central for Tournament of Madness. We'll start at 12 o'clock Central. And remember, we got a couple sales going on tomorrow. 5 a.m. Central, this should be live. 2 p.m. Central, I want to say, this should be live. I'll leave everything in the pinned down below for you to be able to look at for exacts. Thanks for watching, everybody.